Hi guys, welcome back again to Otter's RC Garage. Today we're back in the garage and today we're working on the Redcat Gen 7. So this Gen 7 is my son's, so it has definitely been through a lot. The bumper hanging off the rear there, sort of good inclination. This thing has rolled down mountains, gone through scale rivers, and a whole lot that it shouldn't really be doing. We're going to fix it up a little bit and give it a little bit of goodies. Today, not only are we going to be fixing that rear bumper, we're going to be taking that metal one off because I can't find a good enough mount that can hold that metal bumper and the weight of it all and put up with my son's abuse. So we're going to put the Redcat mount back on, the Gen 7 mount back on, and put the plastic bumper back on the rear and send him on his way with that. It's going to be good enough for him and he'll do great. We already ran through one set of drive shafts because the pinion angle is wrong on these. So I haven't actually looked at it. I've just researched this yet. So we're going to take a look at it and see what they're saying. But so I guess the pinion angle is wrong. So what it does is it tears up the U-joints really bad. So to counter that, if I can't fix the angle, well, regardless if I fix it or not, I got these metal drive shafts that are CVD instead of U-joints. These are from RC all-wheel drive, and these are for the Gen 7, they say. So we're going to try these on there and see if these last longer, for one, and for two, if we can fix that pinion angle, they should definitely last a lot longer. If not, we'll go back to the Redcat ones. The next set of upgrades that we got going on is these brass wheel weights. These brass wheel weights, they're supposed to go between the hub and the wheel itself. So they actually have a little spiral design, and that spiral design is supposed to make it look like a real brake rotor behind the wheel. So I definitely want the brass ones and not like a black or something, because he's got his gold and brass look going on, so I think that will fit really good looking behind there. The main reason I'm doing these is these are 71 grams a piece is what they said. I haven't measured them. They do feel pretty heavy, so I believe it. But he really has a fairly light rig, and now that we're taking the bumpers off, so that'll take some of the weight off up high, so we're going to add some more weight down low. One of the things that we did to help him since the last time we went out was we did angle the rear shocks inwards to sort of give it a little bit more flex, but his rig being so light, it doesn't really take advantage of all that flex in the suspension. So these weights at the tires should sort of help hold the tires down to the ground or onto the rock while his truck does the flexy stuff and makes his way through and onto stuff. So without further ado, I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get that bumper fixed. So as you can see, this bumper is sagging pretty bad. Unfortunately, it's only being held by one screw right now. This is an old I'm pretty sure this is an old Axial SCX-10-1 bumper mount that I'm using, because the Gen 7s, for whatever reason, the Gen 7s are the only ones that have these posts that far apart. Also, this front bumper, we're going to address this as well. I'm going to trim his body some so that we're able to suck this bumper in all the way. The reason for doing that is approach angle. Right now, his approach angle is that, and if we can suck that bumper in, we can get his approach angle to more of like that, which is going to help him quite a bit, especially since, like I said, we're trying to build this more for a specific rock crawler way. I really want to sort of prove that this Gen 7, even though it's really cheap, and I know they just came out with the Gen 9 as well, which is a really awesome rig, but this is still a valid candidate for, you know, especially an entry-level guy that's not sure whether or not they want to get into it or not. And like I said, they start out $180 when they're on sale, about $200. So it doesn't hurt your pocketbook too much. It's a cool truck even out of the box. It's not a licensed body out of the box, but there's a lot that you can do to it. You have a whole lot of different options stock for shock mounting positions, front and rear. You got a whole bunch of different bodies that fit on it, so you can make it look however you want. Links are already high clearance from the factory, so you don't have to worry about upgrading those. I mean, really the only thing that I can think of that I would do different would be mount the servo on the frame. But honestly, having it on the axle is better for crawling anyways, because it keeps your weight down low where you want it. So I'm gonna get busy with the bumpers and get back to you when we get them all fit and finished and show you what it looks like. Got the front bumper mounted a whole lot more tighter in, so we got that approach angle. Trimmed the body down so it looks a lot better. And the rear bumper, we got that bracket mounted in with 4 screws, so we definitely shouldn't rip it out now. And we got it mounted up nice and tight and flush with the body, so it's definitely looking good. So now we're going to move on to the goodies, the actual upgrades. So the drive shafts on these Gen 7s aren't too bad to get to. My son actually replaced these the first time. The rear one, you can get to the transmission side right up here at the top and underneath pretty easily. The front drive shaft though is a bit of a challenge, not necessarily at the axle but up here at the transmission. The trick we have found is you actually take this little grate thing they have, and you can see we bent this one and bent this one out towards us and bent the other one down a little bit. Then you can stick your driver straight through there and you can get to that top screw there. We do have our shiny nice drive shafts mounted up in there. There was a little bit of a tight fit onto the transmission shaft, but we got them to slide on. So they're in there, nice and good, tough looking. I was gonna put these brass wheel weights inside of the wheels, you know, add weight down low. These are 71 grams, so I mean it's actually more than what the tire weighs, or pretty similar. But we got a couple problems. For one, those don't fit down inside of there, and you can sort of make them fit, but the biggest problem then becomes our hub doesn't fit down inside of there. So got 2 different options. I think I'm gonna go with the second option, but I'm gonna have to wait. The first option would be to mount these to the front, and that would look goofy as could be, so we're definitely not going to do that. So the second option, I think I'm actually going to take these little hubs. My dad has a mill, and I'm going to see if we can mount these up on the mill and just turn the outside of these diameters down so that then they'll fit inside there and we don't lose any of our brass. We still have all of our weight. So I decided to come out to my parents and my dad's workshop and turn these hubs so that they could fit. This is one here that's already all done. I got it put together. I am actually going to have to get longer screws to hold these in, so I'm not going to put the rest together tonight. But that did add a considerable amount of weight to that assembly. So what we ended up doing, popping these hubs off the wheel, just like so. So as you can see, there's nothing on the inside there. And then let's go over to the lathe. Here at the lathe, we got one of the hubs chucked up in it, and we just turn them down till they're small enough to fit inside those brass rings.
Should be alright. Check that one.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Okay.
So no one's going to see the edge anyways.
Yep.
Perfect. I just think this is like hot aluminum.
I don't know what it is. It's some kind of aluminum, I'm sure. Turns pretty nice.
Yeah. Some nice orange strings off of it.
Didn't look quite as good as
The first 2.
because I took it in one pass.
Yeah,
But
that's fine.
yeah.
It just has to fit.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Just got a little cleanup. Good to go.
You're good to go.
Thank you.
Yep.
had our first catastrophe trying to make it up this hill. And those new drive shafts, I guess, aren't as good as they claim. Busted the pin right out of that CV joint. Well, unfortunately, we are not having luck with the drive shafts here on Otter's RC Garage. We have another casualty, as you guys seen. So I think I'm going to order, Redcat makes a heavy duty drive shafts for these. I'm going to try using those. This is probably the third set of those CV shafts. I keep convincing myself that they're a good idea, but at the end of the day, it's always the pins inside that fail, and I think it's just because all the force is relying on that one pin instead of a U-joint sort of on two. So that's probably going to be it for right now until we get some new drive shafts ordered for this guy. It did crawl a whole lot better, and it did have a whole lot more grip, and I think that extra grip and whatnot is what caused this failure. Alright, so guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe. We're going to get this thing fixed up, and we're going to take it down to the hill, and we're going to give it a true test. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. We'll see you guys next week.